And I have one more quick question for all y'all. What's the one place you absolutely should not be allowed to bring a gun? Jeff Kreisler.
You should not be allowed to bring a gun to a knife fight.
Sean Connery would agree. Jessica Kirson?
That was funny, and now I have to say something funnier.
Yeah, you got to top that.
This is a lot of pressure.
You should have brought a gun. Joining me now, my panel of non-experts. Jeff Kreisler, comedian and author of Get Rich Cheating, The Crooked Path, The Easy Street. Comedian Jessica Kirson, and comedian and TV's Frank Conniff. Question. Antler spray. Was Lewis actually huffing Donner and Blitzen?
I've been using antler spray for a long time for my muscle mass, and I just, you know, I don't think that I don't think it's a big deal that he used that. I really don't. I don't understand. First of all, he doesn't seem like he's on antler spray. He seems like he's on crack.
Right.
He's got major energy. Do you agree?
Well, why is there antler spray? Are antlers insecure about the size? Are deer insecure about the size?
What
of
if they are?
antlers?
It's natural deer enhancement.
I never knew about that.
Well, why not antler spray? You got antler spray for football. You have rhino horn for sex. If they could like make beer out of tiger paws, every guy I know would own a zoo.
Well, I actually agree with you, and I don't think it's that huge a scandal, and I'll get to that in a second. But the new report about performance-enhancing drugs in baseball raises a question. Could people hate Alex Rodriguez more than they already do? Because he already admitted to using performance enhancers from 2001 to 2003. He stank up the game last year. The Yankees still have to pay him until he's 43 years old, and no one wants him. Does poor A-Rod have any credibility left?
Why does he need credibility? He's got millions of dollars. I mean, that's what people, like I wrote the book on cheating. Cheaters, people that get cheated, they don't care. They're not like us. They don't need to be liked. The rest of us want to be liked. That's why we're on Facebook and Twitter and
You don't think Lance Armstrong wants to be liked?
Well, I am a cheater and I like to be liked. That's true. I cheat.
But you get enough money, you can buy whatever you need.
Well, yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, everything he does is just repulsive now. I mean, I'm not surprised he did that.
Well, dating Madonna was kind of the tipping point for some of us.
Right.
Of course. But let me talk about Ray Lewis and the deer antler spray, because the reason I don't think it's as serious is he wasn't doing it to cheat. He was doing it to recover faster from a disability.
But that's what Barry Bonds did. Allegedly,
Barry
it was
Bonds
to stay in the game.
But he was doing it during the season. He was doing it while he was going on the field.
But what that would do was allow him to keep playing. Barry Bonds, I saw him when he was a skinny guy, was a great baseball player. What the drugs allowed him to do was stay on the field.
So you're saying his antlers caused him a lot of pain. Is
Right.
that what happened? I don't follow sports, so I'm a little
It was like
lost
Hellboy.
here.
When they grew out, he would
like
hit home
Hellboy.
runs.
So where do you draw the line? I mean, what if he took aspirin during the offseason when he's trying to recover from an injury?
That's the thing. Why are we complaining about performance-enhancing drugs when we have it every day? Coffee, nicotine, alcohol, Ambien so we can sleep, and then like the...
Wow, you need help.
Yes.
No,
I need a contract from the Yankees is what I need.
I took pundit-enhancing drugs when I came here to do this panel.
Right. You might have gotten a placebo.
Yeah, I think they Well, with the Super Bowl coming up this Sunday, this is another interesting sports story. A new poll finds that 27% of Americans feel that God plays a role in determining the outcome of sporting events. So why does Jesus hate the Cubs? I mean, doesn't God have better things to do?
No, I think this is actually a message because the Super Bowl, the biggest American sporting event, is in New Orleans between San Francisco and Baltimore. What message is that? Drunkenness, homosexuality, and The Wire. So all of the red states, all of the right-wingers can see what message God really wants to promote.
But isn't it blasphemous to presume that God is favoring one side in our insignificant sporting events?
I just think it's hysterical. I really do.
The only sporting event I know of that Jesus played a role in was the chariot race in Ben-Hur. He helped Ben-Hur along the way. And Ben-Hur didn't thank him at the end of that chariot race either.
Right, and the decathlon in the Ten Commandments. Right.
I just kind of think that if Tim Tebow wants to be consistent, he'll give God the finger when he loses.
There's people are saying that because they believe in God or they're good people, they're religious, that they're going to win the Super Bowl or that a team is going to do really well or an athlete. It's like, whatever's supposed to happen is going to happen.
And God's not watching the games either. He knows what's going to happen. It couldn't be more boring to God.
That's why
exactly. God's talking to his bookie right now.
Yeah, it's like a person who tapes the game and says, "Don't tell me what happens."
But that's why the Super Bowls sometimes have weird endings because God is watching the ads.
I just don't get this with people of faith. It's like, so God cares more about your team than my grandma? I don't understand. But as popular as God is, President Obama is catching up. According to the latest poll, his approval rating is at 60%. The highest in 3 years. So why is Obama so popular right now, and yet it still is so seemingly impossible for him to get anything through Congress?
because he's popular with the people, and the will of the people does not play a part in what happens in Congress in most cases.
I believe in that more
they
and
go
more.
against what a lot of the things that people would like to get through Congress are very popular. Congress doesn't care about that. They're helping the lobbyists, and a lot of them have been gerrymandered into their positions.
That's very true.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, he's a very likable man, you know, and he's a good person, and I think people are realizing that more and more, and he has all the right intentions. It's just there's not much he can even do. That's the scary part.
I think the reason why people realize he's a good man is the same reason why he doesn't get anything done. And in one word, the Republicans. I mean, the mirror being held up to him is the Murdochs and the Aikens, and they're such terrible people that the greatness of Obama in comparison shines through. At the same time, they're the ones that won't let him do anything.
Let me just throw a wrench into that theory for a second, because seeing Harry Reid kill filibuster reform last week, and I'm sorry he did, he broke a lot of promises to a lot of people over a long period of time. Doesn't that lend credence to the theory that it's just a pantomime of good cop, bad cop when the Democrats are allowing the obstruction to continue?
Absolutely. I mean, there's an interest on all politicians and punditry to have nothing happen, to just have it be an argument. But I would say, though, that if there is some element of sincerity in Obama, it's blocked by those that won't allow him to move forward. And that tends to be the Republicans.
Because they're cheating, which you wrote the book on.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of cheating, none of those athletes can hold a candle to the cheaters on Wall Street. Now, Senators Sherrod Brown, a Democrat, and Chuck Grassley, a Republican, are demanding an explanation from the Justice Department about why Wall Street executives who happen to be crooks have not been held accountable for destroying the financial system a few years back. Multi-million-dollar fines are pointless. We paid for that in the bailout. Do we need to see some executives jailed, and where is Obama on this?
It would be great to see executives jailed or publicly hanged, but it's never going to happen. I mean, if they were to go through Congress, they own congressmen. If they were to go to a court, they either own the judges or they can afford the best lawyers.
It's all about money. The more they have too much money. There's not much anyone can do. But I would love to see them, you know, get what they deserve. But that's not going to happen.
Yeah, all we have is the vote.